Ahoj všem, já vás vítám u dalšího dílu vidcastu Hraní s handicapem. Dneska se podíváme na hru, která tady ještě trestu hodně nebyla. A je to mysteriózní thriller Her Story s herečkou Seifert, teď nevím, jestli se jmenuje Anna na křestní. Každopádně, já jsem pro vás včera chystal homework z pouště, ale to se mi nevyvedlo, takže to potom nahradím asi jinou sérii vojenskou. Tu už mám taky připravenou a mám tady pro vás také Star Wars Battlefront 2, protože roky se vyvíjí remaster, který vylepšuje tu hru a online multiplayer tam přímo kvete. No, jenom v úvodu, Her Story je vyprávění skrze videokazety a vám vlastně může vyjít úplně jiný příběh než vašemu třeba kolegovi nebo kamarádovi, který to hraje taky. Zadáváte klíčová slova do monitoru a podle toho zmíněná herečka Seifert reaguje. Ten příběh se točí kolem rodiny, kolem její identity, kolem jejího zdraví, kolem různých věcí a také věcí, které vůbec s tím příběhem nesouvisí. Já jsem si tady po letech našel ta klíčová slova, které jde zadávat. Víte, že jich je opravdu spousta. Já jsem odhalil, dejme tomu, polovinu, takže já dneska za tu hodinku se pokusím třeba i odhalit jiné nahrávky, které jsem nikdy neviděl a nakonec vám řeknu, co mi z toho teda vychází. Na netu jsou nějaké spoilery, ale sam Barlow sám řekl, že ten příběh je takový imaginační a každý si to může vyložit po svém. Her Story získal i spoustu ocenění a byla to taková opravdu jemná revoluce v žánru filmových her, nebo prostě ve filmech, ve hrách, kde jsou quick time eventy. Takže jdeme do toho rovnou. Ještě k tomu patří Telling Lies. No a třeba i další hra, která zase sleduje herečku a její filmy, než zmizí. Jinak ten počítač vlastně evokuje Windows 94 a ještě bych chtěl říct, že vlastně na ty záznamy se dívá dcera odsouzené, nebo spíše vyslýchané. No a tady můžete vidět já mám ten anti-glare filter, protože ten se lépe čte. No a to je vlastně úplně všechno na té obrazovce. Máme tady log off, máme tady readme, máme tady znovu readme, máme tady i hru Mirror Game Hack a tady je ten database checker a tady vlastně každá ta skřínka je ta nahrávka. Prostě máte nějaký, jinak ještě se podíváme na datum. Tady to datum je mimochodem to, co běží dneska. Aspoň myslím. No a ta videa jsou vlastně z minulosti. Tady máte už nápovědu, že třeba co první můžete zadat je vražda. Ale my zadáme jiné. A já třeba dám rodina. Musíte to teda psat anglicky, nevím, jak je to s českými titulky, jestli tam musíte psat ta slova taky anglicky, to jsem nezjišťoval. No a teď víte, že se vám tady objeví ke slovu rodina 5 videí, takže si je postupně pustíme. Takhle jdou chronologicky za sebou. A vždycky tam je jiný časový kód nahrávky.
Yeah, when I was at school. I worked part-time in the front shop. It was sort of an extended family thing. My dad used to work there, my mom.
A víte, že datum je mimochodem 25. června 1924, takže vlastně v podstatě skoro na chlup, jak je dnešní datum. Akorát o 30 let zpět.
I didn't work a till or anything, I was quite shy, so I wouldn't have liked to have worked a till.
Takže to byla první nahrávka. Teď jdeme na druhou. A tady i víte, kolik ta nahrávka obsahuje toho času. To znamená 43 vteřin. Takže opět si pustíme Annu Seifert. Já ji budu říkat Anna Seifer, myslím, že se tak jmenuje, ta herečka.
No, I was 15.
Mimochodem za svůj výstup dostala cenu
17, I think.
a je velice fotogenická, vybrali opravdu velice dobrou herečku na tyhle ty výslechy.
Regardless of how he actually behaved.
Pokud máte rádi tajemno a mysteriózní drama, tak je to přesně pro vás.
We did it in a church once. It's stupid. So he got tired of us and we split
No a vlastně
up
vy
after
si
about
i
6
všimnete, že
months.
ona mluví o někom,
It was sad.
občas zmíní nějaké jméno a to znamená, že potom i to jméno můžete vložit do databáze a zjistit z dalších kazet podrobnosti.
Family.
Takže nahrávka číslo 3, ta je už jenom 13 vteřinová.
Family. So, Carl fucked off, and then there were other boys here and there.
Takže tady zmínila jméno Karl a Simon.
Simon.
No a tady víte, že už má jiné šaty, to znamená, že tady se posunula v čase o zhruba 1 týden. A tato nahrávka má minutu 24 vteřin.
Florence was a warm, kind person. But she was broken, I guess. When I found her diary, I also found a biscuit tin with other stuff in it. Older papers, letters, that kind of thing. Her story wasn't there.
Ano, hra se jmenuje Her Story a přitom teď ona říká Her Story, takže mluví opět o někom jiném.
Put it together later, once I was older. She had loved children, planned to have a large family, but her husband died in the war. And that was back when you married for life. She never felt like she could marry again. Isn't that strange? She was a widow from her 20s. But, I mean, I guess it was different then. You know, you married for life and she felt she could never marry again.
Tohle můžete to i posunout a přehrávat si tu nahrávku znovu dokola, abyste třeba zjistili nějaké klíčové slovo.
I don't know, maybe there was more to it than that. I don't really know.
Tak.
No, it was just me and her. Eve was the name they were going to call their first child. They talked about it and were going to try when he came back. Florence's family had a history of firstborn girls, so they were convinced it was going to be a girl. It's hard to know if this is all true. These are stories I remember that I read when I was a child. Maybe I misread, maybe I misunderstood. Sometimes it's hard to remember what happened last week.
Tak. No a sice vím nějaká slova, ale dáme třeba slovo kytara. A tady víte, že herečka bude hrát i na kytaru.
No. No, Simon didn't play guitar. He wasn't very musical. He liked to
Opět
listen,
mluví o
but
Simonovi.
he was tone deaf.
Takže nevíme, kdo je ten Simon.
Yes. Yeah, it's my guitar.
Trochu to připomíná třeba i Twin Peaks atmosférou.
You want me to play something?
The eldest one pushed the other one in. Oh, the dreadful night.
Tak tohle to přeskočím, protože je to opravdu jen ta písnička, ale výborná zpěvačka je i Mrs. Seifert a no a teď teda můžu zase dát ta slova, která jsme slyšeli, takže Karl a víte, že to, které už jsme přehráli, už nemá tady to oko.
Was he my first? No need to be so coy. No, he wasn't my first. that would have been Carl. He was a local boy in a band. He was a bit of a shit, but he was sexy. We were 15. Differences? She's a better driver than me. She passed the test for us. I tried to take it and nearly crashed the car. Learned that you can't rely on confidence to get you through everything. She is the shy one. She was especially shy around boys. If Hannah liked a boy, I would have to pursue him. It was that way with Carl. Hannah met him first. She had such a crush.
A máme tady první jméno a to je Hannah.
Night that his band had played at. It got difficult. When I was with Carl, we would have sex, but Hannah couldn't let him see she was a virgin. She had lots of excuses. After a while, we decided that I should take Hannah's virginity. It's not that different to a bruise, pulling a tooth, a graze. We used a hairbrush. After that, we took it in turns, though. I was always the one who seduced the boys. Until Simon.
Opět Simon.
Hannah was so smitten with Simon. She started getting jealous, didn't want to share. Even the first date. We went to see Tom Cruise at the Old Odeon. We both went, kept changing places in the toilet. We only had one best dress, so we had to keep swapping clothes. Must have thought we had terrible bladder problems. The next date, it was my turn. At the end, I let him kiss me. But that was it. We didn't want another Carl on our hands, and the Ouija board had said to hold back. After that, it was Hannah's turn, and she slept with him. Broke the rules. Deliberately broke the rules. She wanted to be the first to sleep with him. That's when she got pregnant. From that one time.
Tak a teď máme hodně praštěná slova, ale dobrá. Takže dáme si pregnant. Pak dáme ještě Simona. Jinak teď se můžete podívat na tu databázi a víte, že už máme teda odhalené něco.
I got pregnant. Both our parents had a big powwow. We weren't even in the room. And they decided we should get married. Yes, I'm fine. I won't be sick again. This happens some days. I'm pregnant. It's morning sickness. No. Well, yes. He found out on my birthday. I told him I was pregnant. It's Rapunzel. The story starts when she's born. Mother Gothel, a witch, takes Rapunzel from her parents and keeps her locked up in this tower. Rapunzel gets pregnant by the prince. Gothel is furious, so she cuts off her hair and throws it. Actually, her hair's already short here, so that's already happened. So she throws her into the wilderness, and Rapunzel is reunited with the prince, who's blind, but she kills him with her tears, and so it's a happy ending. Is that too much? When I arrived in Glasgow, I was exhausted.
Glasgow.
The streets were empty.
Taxi.
I was driving badly. And I hit a taxi. Not a big crash, just paintwork. The guy was so pissed off because I didn't have a driving license on me.
Já to teď nebudu překládat kvůli tomu, aby vás nerušil při čtení.
He made sure I got to the hospital so they could check me out. It was fine.
Ale ta angličtina je docela pochopitelná i pro začátečníky.
Hospital must have details when I was looked at. There's a scratch on the car.
Tak. Takže teďka dáme Simon. A vidíme opět vypovídající v jiném oblečení.
Simon Smith. He works at Ernst Brothers Glass. They do windows, all kinds of glass. Simon does the more special work. Mirror making, feature windows, artistic things. Really beautiful things. Simon is 6 foot, darkish blonde hair, average build. He's clean shaven. If his beard grows, it goes ginger, so he shaves it. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with ginger hair. I bought a photo. They said I should bring a photo. This was taken last year on holiday in Rome. It's the best one I have. It's the Rockington Arms, the Rock. It's run by a nice couple, Peter and Susan. There's some other regulars there that Simon likes to drink with, and the barmaid they're having sometimes, Helen. Peter said Simon had been in and had a few drinks. Yes, there's an Amstrad one. No one uses it for very much. There's a printer so you can write letters on it. Simon sometimes plays games, you know, climb the tower, save the princess, that kind of thing.
Takže Simon si koupil Amstrad, hrál na tom i hry.
Simon isn't the type to run off or do anything crazy. Someone must have done something to him, or there must have been some kind of accident.
Takže accident. No, můžeme teď napsat velice klíčové slovo, a to je Hana. Za účely vyprávění.
My name is Hannah. H-A-N-N.
No a všimněte, že ona mluvila o Haně a teďka se sama za Hanu jakoby nazývá.
It doesn't work if you mirror it though, it's not quite symmetrical, but well, I mean, you get the idea. Sorry. Hannah Smith, I live at 31 Gladstone Street. Takže
Simon byl zřejmě její manžel, protože taky byl Simon Smith. Tady má zase úplně oblečení.
What are you doing talking about Eve?
Yes.
Je to kdo lži?
Oh, shit. Sorry.
A, něco už tu nehraje.
Across the road, where my parents first lived there, was a midwife called Florence.
Florence.
When Hannah was born, I was born at the same time. The midwife was there to
Takže
help.
Hana a ona se narodí ve stejné, takže jsou to sestry a dvojčata.
The midwife told my mother I was dead. But I wasn't. She wrote all this stuff in a diary. Amazing what people will admit to on paper. She recognized me from the window. She told me to come inside, and she hid me. They had made the attic into a place where Hannah could play. There was a dollhouse. She hid me up there. No one else ever went into the attic. It was her place.
Takhle si twin jako dvojče.
Twins? Really? Are you really asking me that question?
A vidíte, že vůbec to neodpovídá tomu, co třeba řekne na jiné nahrávce.
Are you out of your mind? Twins? Florence took me home with her. Mother hadn't been expecting twins and had a healthy baby. I guess she was just happy for Florence to clean up. Take away the evidence that this was anything but a happy occasion.
Je možné, že teda jí právě jmenuje
There were always
Florence.
princes and princesses. They were the special people, more important than the other characters in their stories. We knew we were like that. Twins. Magical. We were the princesses. We had a poster of Princess Diana from the newspaper up in our attic. Had a pride of place. And underneath we used to put all our special things. When her engagement was announced, we were obsessed with everything she did. And later, when her life went so bad, we felt for her. Her divorce last year just kind of drew a line under things.
Tak. Můžeme dát jméno Eve. Nebo dáme ještě Florence.
Florence raised me in her home. I never left it. She kept me out of sight. It wasn't odd for people to see a midwife with a baby, carrying in supplies, washing nappies, that sort of thing. I never knew any different. I grew up looking out of my window and seeing her across the road. I thought it was like a reflection in a mirror. She was me.
She was me. Takže dáme si třeba affair, jako aféra.
An affair? Simon wasn't having an affair. You're reaching here. I don't know why. No, I've never cheated on anyone. I've never taken
Teď budu zadat
anything
jenom ta
from
slova, která
anyone.
jsem slyšel.
Simon is dead. But I have my baby to care for. Why are you trying to make me sad?
Takže daughter, z toho vycházelo Eve, možná
Why
to
are
je
you
ta
so
sestra.
obsessed with sex and affairs? You cheated on your wife. Is this your thing?
No. A tady už vlastně vidíme, že teprve může Hana, nebo kdo to vlastně neříkat pravdu a naopak se chová velice zvláštně, jako by měla i nějakou psychickou poruchu,
I was in Glasgow worrying about whether my baby was still growing inside me.
protože
I mean, why would I kill Simon? I loved him.
občas sama překrucuje to, co už řekla, nebo to neodpovídá skutečnosti. Takže mám ještě třeba slovo Eve.
Well, my friend Eve. I mean, she was a friend from when I was a kid. And she was always more popular with the boys, and I used to hate her for it. I mean, really hate her sometimes. Yes. We'd fight. We fought on the beach once and I held Eve's head underwater. There was no one else around. It was at the far end of the beach and I held her head under and I kept it under. And for a moment I just wanted to kill her and watch her drown.
Takže vidíme, že dotyčná má i nějaké temné sklony. A pokud jste ji třeba brali na začátku streamu jako oběť, tak se to vlastně díky těmto videím může okamžitě změnit.
A police station. Yeah. When I was young, we ran away on my birthday. Bob Dylan was playing in London and we thought we could break into his tour bus and have him take us with him. The taxi driver we paid to drop us off. I mean, we'd save money.
Teď klidně zadáme slovo vražda, které jsme měli na začátku v tom vyhledávači. A podíváme se opět do naší kartotéky a kolik teda je to online. Možná, že ten příběh si sami dotvoříte už po 15 minutách, nebo 20 minutách, nebo po 2 hodinách, kdy třeba už i nebudete moct, nebo jak nebudete vědět, která slova zadávat. Proto také existuje už teď i ta nápověda. Ano, takže tady vidíte třeba, že už jsme byli první 2 nahrávky, které šly úplně od začátku. Škoda, že to není nějak označeno, takže si i musíte pamatovat text. Takže murder. No vidíte 4 přízvevky a dokonce ve 3 šatech.
You think it's murder? I mean, clearly it's murder. What can I do to help? Yeah, that's me. But February, I mean, that was months ago. What's that got to do with Simon's murder?
Je 1. července a ona mluví o... teď mluvila o únoru.
You've got it wrong. You've got the wrong person. I'd like to speak to a lawyer now. Please. You have no murder weapon. You have nothing. And all these stories we've been telling each other. Just that.
My nevíme, co se s ní potom stane, když si dozvíte ten příběh. To je právě další kouzlo, takže dáme kouzlo, protože to tam taky říkala, magic.
When beautiful people died, we always felt like it was a sign. You remember Princess Grace? Grace Kelly? She died in a car crash the year before we met Simon. We used a Ouija board to speak to her, and that gave us the power to find him. That's what we thought then. That people who died tragically leave some kind of magic.
Vidíme, že je nějaká obsedantně kompulzivní, co týče zabití v autě, protože zmínila Dianu, zmínila Grace Kelly a ona sama nabourala taxík.
I think it was that time, the first time at the house, in his bed, that I got pregnant. Amazing, right? This fucking magic sperm. And they say lightning doesn't strike twice. I didn't tell him. I missed 3 periods. I had pretty irregular periods anyway, but 3.
Takže byla určitě těhotná, neřekla mu to.
Both of us. I didn't tell him. Just waited.
Takže tady je otázka, jestli vůbec chtěla být matkou.
I told her because I thought she would be happy for us both. I think she was.
Teď dáme taxi Ještě tam bylo to Glasgow. Tak to už nemusíme. Glasgow. A víte, že tady vlastně to bylo to poslední video, takže...
I got in the car and I drove. And just kept driving north. Just kept going, just wanted to get as far away as I could. When I finally stopped, I was all the way up in Glasgow. I was so tired. I just had to sleep.
Ten výslech na ní potom doléhá a už
Yes.
i reakce nejsou úplně tak stejné jako na začátku.
I got to Glasgow, I was exhausted, so I pulled over and slept in the car. I woke up because a rubbish truck went past. I got some petrol, bought a coffee and a pastry, tried calling someone from a payphone and then headed back. No, I don't think so. Glasgow was deserted that early in the morning.
Jdeme na Londýn. Máme to jenom video, pak můžeme dát i třeba Bob Dylan, jestli to něco najde ještě dalšího. Taky ne. Teď říkal, že se ptáme na poměry a na Afry a na sex, tak tady víte, že slově sex je hodně...
Really? You're going to ask me about my sex life? I mean, isn't that private? Are you married? How is your sex life? So, our sex life is probably fairly average for a couple after 10 years of marriage.
Tahle otázka je hodně nepříjemná.
You're talking to the wrong person if you think I'm some kind of slut. If you think I'm the kind of person that would have had sex with all those guys.
Tak, můžeme dát parents. Myslím, že když je v tom modrém, tak to je úplně její první výslech.
It was Friday evening. We had an argument. He left. On Saturday he didn't come back. I waited all day. He was supposed to go help Eric out with something on the
Další jméno Eric.
had a job. He didn't show. So Eric was ringing on the phone. I checked at the Rock, that's our local. They said they'd seen him on the Friday night, but not since. He still wasn't back this morning. It just isn't like him at all. Still not back by dinner time. It's getting dark again. So I decided to come and see you. His parents haven't heard anything either.
Můžeme se opět podívat do kartotéky, jak to vypadá. A víme, že jsme úplně první kartu ještě neobjevili, ale už jsme tak, dejme tomu, v té 1/3 nahrávek.
No. I lost the baby. I had a miscarriage at 8 months. We carried on living at Simon's parents until, well, it was only a few months after.
Že další slovo bude určitě baby. To tam taky zmínila jako děťátko.
Then my parents died. It was the worst year of my life. The miscarriage and then my parents. Yes. I inherited it from my parents, so it made sense to move back. Me and Simon. Felt like going back to old ways before the pregnancy. Reminded me of being a girl, a dollhouse in the attic, old things. We didn't sleep in my parents' bedroom for a long time. We decorated it as soon as we moved in, but it was another year before we started sleeping there.
Dáme ještě třeba Eric. Na to nezapomeneme, na to jméno.
He was wearing a shirt, a blue turtleneck shirt and jeans. He has a watch. It's a really nice one. That was a gift from his boss, Eric. He had his coat, a long grey duffel coat, like Paddington Bear. He would have taken that with him. It's not in the house.
Občas se i při těch výsleších objeví vtip.
Yes, there's a car that we share, a Cavalier, and a van he uses for work. It's owned by Eric, but we look after it. Both of them are there now, parked on the street. I'm not sure about the keys for the van. I can look for you when I get back.
Tak, ještě 2 nahrávky.
Yes, that would be in his wallet. It's a Visa, a silver one. He doesn't like to spend money he doesn't have, so he usually pays with cash, but Eric convinced him to get one. Well, Eric was like an uncle to him. They were pretty close. They spend a lot of time with each other, especially when they have to go to conferences. Have you met his wife, Diane?
Diana. Ale my můžeme teďka tady jednu věc a to je, dáme tam choroba, nebo disorder. Nebo medication. Taky ne. Nebo mental illness. Taky ne. Tak necháme jenom mental. Znamená brain ještě.
Sorry. The picture, the way it's drawn, just reminded me of the books we used to read as children. I read those fairy tales over and over, and they were so real to me. Rapunzel was my favourite. My brain is just full of it. How many of these in colour?
Můžeme dát třeba imaginace, představy.
Just became our way of life. We would swap places and take it in turns to do things. And we were very careful. Whoever had been out that day would come back and write a detailed diary so that we were on the same page. We had a list of
Tady už je
rules
zase
that
jako
said what we
3.7.
could and couldn't do in any
Takže ten
given
výsledek se odehrál na rozmezí zhruba 2 až 3
It was
týdnů.
exhaustive. We lived a second life through those rules. Rules for things that could only ever happen inside our imaginations. We would consider all the permutations of future events and agree rules to walk our way through them.
Tak, slovo kill, to taky tam zaznělo.
I mean, what if they were crazy? You hear about these crazy people all the time. I mean, why would anyone who knew Simon want to kill him? I'm not sure where the dollhouse came from. I don't know if it was given to them or they inherited it. I mean, they wouldn't have had the money to buy it. It was so huge. It must have been taken up to the attic in parts and then reassembled up there.
Myslím, že nejdelší nahrávka má kolem 3 minut.
Wallpaper to scale. Little furniture.
A je to dobře, že to je i v takových krátkých časových úsecích, protože si pak můžete lépe zapamatovat ten příběh i vlastně ta slova.
We spent hours and hours playing in it, invented all these characters and families who lived there. We wrote paperwork from them all, passports, diaries, and gave them all really elaborate stories.
Dáme ještě slovo auto a peníze.
Once, a moth got trapped in there. We'd left a light on. It was making the most horrendous noise. We tried to kill it, but it was tough. We ended up crushing it under a copy of the Arabian Nights. I wasn't in the house all of Friday night.
Například říká, že je špatná řidička, ale to nemusí znamenat, že opravdu je.
I was upset and I wanted to get away. So I took the car. I left the next day, Saturday. I slept for a few hours in the car. And when I woke up, I came straight back. Simon wasn't returning my calls and I wanted to try and make up. I got back to the house and Simon wasn't there. And Is there a bin? Yeah. I pulled over and slept in the car. This was just by the side of the road.
No, žádné slovo jsem neobsal z toho internetového seznamu, znám to pouze podle těch informací, ale můžeme pak dát ještě na chvilku třeba nějaké slovo. Dáme ještě slovo, které jsme ještě nezkoušeli, victim, jako oběť. Ne. Danger můžeme dát. Money jsme chtěli zkusit. Zase více nahrávek.
Sure, I think. I do all the bills and paperwork and handle all the money stuff, so it should be easy for me to find. Do you want them dropped off to you? If you put me on You've Been Framed, I want the money.
Tak a už jsme asi tak v polovině těch i refresh mimochodem. Tak, pojďme se teda na ta slovíčka a můžeme dát slovo sister nebo witch, watch, story, tattoo, throat, thin, nursery, name. Ano, name jsme ještě nedávali. Takže můžeme dát ještě třeba 4 kazety.
No, everyone loved Simon. He's a glazier, he
A
doesn't
pak
have
se
much
teda
money.
ukončím a řeknu vám svůj
I
verdikt.
don't know.
Pamatuju si, jak se lidi o tom bavili v autobusech a všude, prostě, že každý měl na to trochu jiný názor. A vlastně ty teorie, které fanoušci dávali, pak se i vyvracely mezi sebou.
Simon had a birthday tea waiting. Afterwards, she told Simon about me, told him I was pregnant. She wanted me to move in with them, this sister he didn't know she had. She knew that instant.
Jo, takže teď opravdu mluví o své sestře.
She
Že
sent him
zase
out the
nevíme,
house, kicked him out.
proč jí tak vadila a podobně.
Crying and I went round. I guess I had a feeling I could
Dáme ještě slovo name.
her voice, but I wasn't sure what it was. She called me sister on the phone.
Že jestli se třeba jí manžel nezaplatil s její sestrou, která je dvojče. Tam všechny ty otázky vám můžou vlastně pak časem i dojít.
My sister is gone.
A když říká, že sestra už je
She's
pryč,
never coming back.
že se nikdy nevrátí. Takže to je úplně... Nebo jestli převzala identitu své sestry.
I would have been a good mother. I was young, but I would have been a good mother. She was a girl, by the way, the baby. We were going to call her Sarah.
Ano, další jméno Sára.
Simon wanted to call her Ava after his nana, but I didn't
Ava.
want her to have a symmetrical name.
Víme, ona je docela zběhnutá v jménech, které se čtou jako palindrom.
Okay, you got me. I'll confess. We were there.
Ano, máte mě, byli jsme
It
tam.
was a dirty weekend. Simon was going to expense it, pretend it was a business trip. I used a made-up name. We stayed at the hotel, had room service, didn't leave the room, had a great view of the river, and you could hear the church bells. Like you said, it was very romantic. My name? That was the only question I failed. Your lie detector works.
Ne, teď tady víš, že opravdu to Sára. Eva. Nana. Girl. Je to v podstatě pokus omyl.
No, he doesn't keep a diary. That's my thing. I've kept one, well, as long as I can remember, since I was a girl. Helps make sense of my day. And when you're forced to put something into words, it just gives you perspective. Everyone's on the same page. Okay. There's a girl and she's staring out of the window. She's sad. She's trapped. She's here. She's looking out the window because her mother won't let her out.
Dáme ještě třeba witch. Co tam bylo?
Fairy tales. Stories about lost princesses, evil witches.
Ona se považovala za princeznu.
So you see, even before I knew the truth, I'd found it in those stories.
Můžeme podat i to story.
I wanted to see my reflection. I thought that if I touched her...
Určitě se tomu podělte potom pod Retronation o vaše dojmy z her story a jak se to chápali vy.
One girl. The fairy tale was over, the witch was dead, and I'd be restored to my rightful place.
Ano, zase, že někdo je mrtvý, to znamená čarodějnice. Dáme ještě tatu, protože má to tetování. Tattoo. Máme teď 4 nahrávky.
No, he doesn't have any tattoos. He has a scar down here near his stomach, past his hip. Cut himself with some glass. That was before, a long time ago. He has to read a newspaper or a menu in a restaurant. Not book so much, or watching TV. He likes TV.
Můžeme dát i fairy tales, ale já tady už ukončím.
Oh, my tattoo. I got it to express my individuality. It's an apple and a snake. So I moved out. Got a small bed sit. Got my tattoo to mark the occasion.
Můžeme třeba ještě zdrhnutí, jako run-off, nebo podobně.
So I had some money, enough money to cover my rent. And I've been doing something similar ever since. I haven't put down
Dáme
any
ještě dát to
roots.
story.
I don't exist. He saw me singing one of my shows. Pure chance. Not sure I remember what he was even doing there. Afterwards, I had a drink at the bar and he came over and we got talking. I knew who he was. Obviously I knew who he was. But he didn't know who I was. He was fascinated by the likeness. He guessed my name from my tattoo. Told me it was a palindrome, like that would impress me. I enjoyed talking to him. It was amazing to be able to sit and interact and talk to him after all this time. He didn't tell me he was married.
Married.
I'm not sure.
We are married.
He later told me it was like he was dreaming.
Tak. No a poslední slovo, které zadáme, a pak vám řeknu ten příběh, co si teda myslím o příběhu her story, je story. A opět vidíme, že ještě jsme viděli 3 nahrávky. Takže 18 vteřin.
It wasn't the present so much. It was one of those arguments that had been simmering for a while. The present was a mirror, a nice mirror. He'd engraved the glass, the kind of mirror a princess would have in a story.
Opět mluví o princezně,
Especially for me.
o sobě, takže je tam vidět nějaký narcistní rys a vlastně, že ona je ta dokonalá.
Like a story. The beginning.
Vlastně na žádné té nahrávce se ona sama nepopisuje, jako že by byl někdo vadný, nebo že by měla nějakou chybu.
Well, she has a knife.
Ale jak do toho zapadá Simon? Jak do toho zapadá její sestra, která je podle všeho asi mrtvá? Jak do toho zasahuje její těhotenství, potom, že od dítě přišla, potom, že nakonec má dceru. Je to jako kdyby spletala dva životy dohromady, což samozřejmě u toho, že je z dvojčete, to se tak jakoby nabízí. No a teď vlastně vám po té hodině ukážu, kolik jsme toho otevřeli, díky těm klíčovým slovům, je to teda téměř polovina. Nemáme teda první nahrávku, samozřejmě pokud teda zadáte podle internetu všechny ty klíčové slova, tak budete vidět všechny nahrávky. A já teda řeknu svoji myšlenku, kterou jsem si myslel při prvním dohrání. Už jsem toho četl poměrně hodně na tohle téma. A mimochodem zase říká, je to jako pohádka, takže co teda říct o vyslýchané? Dle mého soudu určitě trpí nějakou poruchou. Určitě není obětí, podle mě je do toho všeho zapletená. Určitě si protiřečila. Ukázalo se, že detektor lží vlastně sám řekl, že neřekla své pravé jméno. Jedná se o rok 1994, to znamená DNA, tuším ještě se neobjevilo, DNA začalo spolupracovat, výsledky DNA, myslím, že u americké policie jsou od roku 97 nebo 98, takže proto právě i ty výsledky byly takové nejednoznačné. Co se týče hry jako takové, je to prostě hra, u které musíte zapojit hodně myšlení, musíte umět dobře anglicky. A já to řeknu takhle, já si prostě myslím, že Hana, pokud se teda tak jmenuje, tak minimálně převzala život svojí sestry a minimálně jí prostě se pokusila zprovodit ze světa, plus to, jak popisuje Simona, který teda spadl ze schodů, nebo že jeho smrt byla nehoda, tak samozřejmě víte, že když jsou dva lidi v jedné místnosti a není tam žádný třetí svědek, tak se to samozřejmě těžko dokazuje. Takže na internetu je spousta teorií a kdybych měl teda tipnout si, tak její porucha bude buď disociativní porucha, což je porucha spojená s bludy, a tato porucha vlastně dokáže udělat to, že se vtělíte do jiného člověka a hlavně může tam být i ta hraniční porucha osobnosti. To znamená, že ona zažila nějaký stres, nevíme jaký, třeba z těch potratů, no a tím pádem možná potom konala, jak konala. Každopádně já vám moc děkuju za to, že jste se dívali. Strávili jsme nakonec opravdu tu hodinku u výslechu, takže Her Story stojí pár korun. Sám Barlow má velice zajímavé ty hry, opravdu hry, které nemají v žánrech obdoby, a já se těším na další vysílání. A musím říct, že Her Story pro mě pořád zůstává v žebříčku top her, ačkoliv ta hratelnost tam je prakticky minimální. Mějte se. Ahoj a hezký pátek.